Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be recreating the song Active by Chop Daily, and we've got all our layers here, and we're just going to be tweaking a few things to get it to sound as close as possible to the original. So this is what we've got so far. Okay, so what we're going to start with is the beat. So this is the beat pattern that we've got here, and if I double click on this, we've got this beat pattern here as well as the kick. So the first thing I'm going to do to the kick is just to add a little bit of reverb, just to make it a bit more fuller. Then we're now gonna go into the hi-hat. So we've got this little section here where it does a really fast tss like that, and I got this as a loop. Just got a loop here, and you can get loops by clicking here, and then I went on beats, and then I was able to find that loop as a hi-hat. It was a lot longer, but I like that little tss, tss. So that little thing, I got that, and then I changed the instrument so that instead of it being a hi-hat, it would be more of this instrument here. Yeah, this one, more like a clap. So before it was this very thin shaky type of hi-hat, and now it was a clap because it sounded a bit more like the original. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the volume a little bit lower, and in the original it pans to your left. I'm just going to really pan that to the left, and then we've got this it's just one snare. So after those quick tss, we've got another snare, and this one pans to your left as well. So I'm really gonna pan that one to the left, or either side. To be honest, it doesn't matter as long as they both pan to one side. So let's see how that all sounds together. Like that. That's good. So now the next thing we're going to work on is this lead here, this sweet lead. So that so in the original is pretty similar to this, but we're just going to cut a little bit of that high end out. It doesn't have much frequency, so we can lower that a bit more. Let's see what adding resonance does. See what removing it does. Doesn't seem to do too much, so I'm going to leave it as it was. The volume is a bit lower, and then in the effects we're going to add the equalizer, and we're just going to cut a bit of the very, very high end off. Like that, yeah, that's better. Then we're going to go into these chords here, which are a lot quieter. So I'm going to lower it a lot more, both of them. And then we're going to cut a lot of the high end off, because what we want to do, we want to get that feeling like it's towards the back. It's like towards the back of your head instead of right at the front, or towards the back of the mix. So we're going to do a lot of high cuts. Yeah, so it sounds like it's a lot further back, and I'm going to do the same to this one. So I'm going to do a nice high cut like that. So now when we play them together, yeah, and we're even going to lower the higher one a little bit more. Yeah, like this. So now the next thing we're going to move on to is to this guitar. So this guitar is pretty perfect as it is. It sounds very similar to the original. The one thing we're going to do though is there is a slight kind of echo of the last note in the original. We're going to duplicate this guitar, and we're going to go to, we're going to get the last note. We're going to delete everything but the last note. And then we're going to move it to how it echoes. We're going to make it a lot quieter. In fact, I think it's another one like this. Let's see. Yeah, so it's meant to go here. If I zoom in a bit more, like here, like duh, 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 like that. Yeah, so just a bit more. Yeah, like that. We can make it a little bit more louder. Like this. So let's see how that sounds. Very good. And then what we're going to do is, even before the first note starts, there's an echo before the first note starts. So that would be where this note is here. So what we can even do is divide this region, copy it, and then paste it here. So then we get that pre-echo. Like that. Very good. Then, and in fact, this note would be lower. Like that. Then we're now going to go into this little melody here. It's very quiet, so it's going to be a lot quieter than this. And we're going to add just a slight little delay to it. Okay, so I've come back and I've changed a few things. The first thing I've done is for the snare, I've used this Corazon machine and we've got this sound instead. It's a bit more similar to the African drum sound, and I've layered it with this Anthem machine, and I've used the hi-hat on the Anthem. And what I've done is I've layered them together, so now together they sound like this, which gives the similar feel to the original. Also, when we come to this section here, I've added the pump pad, and what I've done with them is I've put the phase all the way up, the frequency quite low, the resonance down, and added a bit of more reverb to give that fuller feeling. So together it sounds like this, like that. And then now the next thing we're going to work on is the bass. So all we have to do to the bass, I've used this dub bass, and it's very deep. What we're doing here, it's the lowest octaves possible. I'm just going to add the reverb a bit, not too much, because we still want to be able to feel the transitions, especially later on in the song when there's a lot of stuff going on with the bass. So I'm just going to make sure you can still feel the transitions. In fact, this section here, I'm going to add another note. Then, for this section, the end of the chorus, we've got this So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to solo those ones. So I used the soft horn synth, and to get that echo effect, I delayed it. I'm going to make it a bit quieter. What we're going to do is copy it, make it an octave higher. There, so that will make an octave higher. And do the same to this. Let's see how that sounds. We need to make that an octave higher. And then when we come here, we're going to see how we can make it more. So yes, we'll add some bites. And maybe more envelope. Yes, perfect. And then we'll quieten them down a bit so it's not too loud. And then let's see how that sounds. Very good. So those are all the layers to this song active. What I'm going to do is play it all together now that they've all been edited, and hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial and you were able to learn something about how to recreate a song in Soundtrap. So here we go.